third time in the last 4 years Dallas has been eliminated from the playoffs. Our score here is 9-0, and we're in the second quarter now with 13:29 remaining in the half. The score was 9-0 at the end of the quarter on a 21-yard touchdown run by Charles White and a safety on a bad snap by the Atlanta center in the end zone, and Donnelly was tackled after Barnett snapped it poorly. Will McDonough's alongside. I'm Jack Buck. We just had a timeout here, and the Rams have third down and a long 6 from the 23 of Atlanta.
And the Rams offensive line has dominated the early part of this game, Jack. You know, Atlanta hasn't been able to get near Everett on the pass rush. White has been running well. And now Atlanta is a team that really doesn't pass rush that well.
And don't be too sure that the Rams are going to pass on this down, because they don't mind running it even on 3rd and long with White. Kevin House is the third wide receiver, along with Brown and Ellard. They are going to pass. And now he's going to run right up the middle. 1st and goal. Everett doesn't run that often. That's only his 14th run of the year, but it's 1st and goal.
He couldn't help himself because the coverage was great. And when he looked, he wanted to throw out to his right. He had to watch him when he comes back now. You're going to take a look at it. He comes back. He's going to take a look. He wants to throw out to his right. He's got a swing man coming out of the backfield. See Charlie White, 33, swinging out. Pumps. It isn't there. Now he looks up, skips away from a tackler right here. Gets a Mike Gann can't catch him behind. Slides in there. They can't hit you when you slide in, Jack.
That's the rule. Once he slides down, you can't hit him. Ron Francis. They're going to throw probably to Francis. He's in the backfield. 1st and goal from the 7. They're looking for Francis to break loose, and it is out of bounds. He was covered by Kranick. And the Rams just missed on 6 there.
You're looking at Everett from behind. He goes back now. They're holding. I'm going to be nice about it. They're holding DeMo Johnson and Enzo, but they let it go. Here's the throw out here, and you get both of them. There's Francis converging at the same time. Just barely tips by Kranick. Just got his hand off it. Watch him reach out. Watch 52. Just tips it. And it hits Francis in the head. The ball goes out of control.
That's a good play by that linebacker. Not all linebackers can stay with those running backs. It's 2nd and goal from the 7. Here comes White. Good blocking. He is down at the goal line. He is at the goal line. Nobody signaled touchdown. The fans think he got into the end zone. Fred Silver, the referee, says no.
Watch it. You're the linebacker now. Here's what it looks like. Here's Everett. Turn it around. Watch all the big guys. A little juke step by Charlie White. Here he comes. Powerful runner. Watch the way he won't quit. Watch him take the hit, Jack. Spin. He stays in his seat. He puts his hand down. He knows where the goal line is. He's still looking, and he almost gets it. Just misses it by 6 inches.
So it's 3rd and goal with Gooman the up back. Ramon Johnson, the other tight end. White went to the goal line, didn't get in. Did not get in. It looked like he tried to get up in the air, but couldn't. It's 4th down.
Well, the fans are booing, Jack, because they're sending the field goal unit on. But the play was sort of fouled up right from the snap. Everett had a tough time getting away from Synodon. I don't watch him. Watch him have trouble getting away. He sort of, see that little slip, and he got a reach.
Far away.
Yeah, the timing was terrible, and White can't get up there in time. He's a little bit delayed because he took the handoff late. He tries to spin and get over the goal line. From our angle, it looked like he did it, but the 2 officials are right on the goal line. Neither one of them never raised their arms.
Michael Reed, the linebacker, prevented the touchdown. Here's an 18-yard try by Lansford, and it is good. And the score goes to 12-0 with 11:10 remaining in the half. Hasn't taken Charles White very long to pile up some yards.
He's going to have another 100-yard game unless he gets hurt, Jack. 14 carries, 73 yards. Still got 11 minutes to play in the second period.
Here's Lansford, who just kicked an 18-yard field goal, kicking off, and the prime receiver is Sylvester Stamps. He'll have a chance to return this because Lansford is kicking into the wind. It's 12-0 Los Angeles. Here's a line drive kick taken by one of the upmen at the 15-yard line. And the play is stopped at the 25. Was that Tyrell? That sounded like Tyrell to me.
Oh, you can hear it here in the press box.
Man.
That was Tyrell.
Holy smoke.
But he feels like Mike Tyson hit him right now. His 32. The fans love him because they know how tough he is.
He used to play in Atlanta, and they liked him down there also. He's crazy.
He's out of it, right? Look at his eyes coming over there. He's saying, where am I? Let me get to the bench and sit down. I don't want to shake hands anymore.
He thinks he's in Houston. Boy, you could hear that thing all over the park. We have 11:01 left in the half. Atlanta has the ball. Rams lead 12-0. Atlanta has only one first down. White's already rushed for 73 yards. There's Tim Tyrell, the great special teams player of the Rams. Watch the hit.
Watch the hit.
Oh, come on, man. They got that.
They had to pump that one up. They pumped that one, didn't they?
Sound like a bowling ball going in. Here's the pass to Riggs. He loses yards on the play as Jim Collins, the linebacker, number 50, came up.
Atlanta has to do something here on offense, Jack. If they don't, the game might get out of reach in a hurry. Campbell has to stop making some plays. I think that, you know, you got the win now. You've been completely outplayed, and if you want to pick up the rest of your team, you got to make a play. He's got to make a first down here, throw the ball, try to get something established. You just, if they shut out Riggs and get the ball back, it's going to be a lot of trouble.
Second down and 16. Well, the Rams had it pretty well covered. The ball's to the 30. It's going to be third down and 6. By the way, and this Riggs is no slouch. I think the Rams would like to have him, don't you?
Oh, you love to have a back like him because he's so tough and he doesn't fumble the ball, and he's the type of guy that plays hard every play. Generally, he's better in the first period. You know, you look at his stats, he averages over 5 yards a run in the first period, but then he carries so much, takes so many hits because he's the only one on the team that carries the ball, that he starts to wear down as the game goes along.
Here's a third down play for Campbell, 3rd and 5. And that ball took off. You could see the wind cause that to take off as they tried to get it to Matthews.
The throw just wasn't there, Jack. You know, there was great coverage. In fact, if he threw it well, I think Leroy Irvin would have intercepted the ball. Now they got to punt again.
So Rick Donnelly is in to kick it away with the wind. They almost blocked it. Good coverage. Ellard called for a fair catch and all the way back to the 20-yard line. That's 46 yards by Donnelly.
Watch Michael Stewart, number 23, come out of this side of the picture. He just misses it. Here he comes. He goes, takes the right route. He gets across in front of his 23. See him go up, and the ball seems to go right through his hand.
Well, the Rams have the ball with 9:29 left in the half. They have it at their own 21. Score. Here's another score we want to show you is Buffalo is 7-6 and Indianapolis is 7-6 with Buffalo dominating today. We'll tell you about Eric Dickerson in a moment. First down pass. Boy, they're playing way off of the receiver who was Gooman in that case. Dickerson today for Indianapolis rushed 11 times. I don't know why so few. 19 yards. That's all.
Well, I'd guess it was so few because they get behind so early. They're behind 13-3 in the first period, and that sort of takes him out of the game. But, of course, Hogaboom's been hurt, who's their passer, and they got to go with Trudeau, and he obviously didn't do the job. If Buffalo gave up a lot of points last week against the Raiders, you know, and they come in Indianapolis and play a good game on defense.
The pass to Gooman was good for 6. 2nd and 4. Here's White with a first down run. Out to the 35 and tackled by Robert Moore and Joel Williams. And the Rams, as long as they hang on to the ball, seem to be able to do whatever they wish.
Well, Charlie White's going to start reading it. Atlanta's been over pursuing so far in the first period. Starts out right, sees the pursuit. Here he comes back left, finds a gap. Good drive block in front of him, gets upfield. That's a Charlie White play. You know, you get up there, you get 4 or 5 yards.
Good block by David Hill, the tight end on that last play. Now Ellard goes in motion. comes White. Look at that hole. Yards more the tackle along with Gordon. The safeties are making a lot of tackles.
Well, you don't see a quick hitter like this much in the I formation, but he comes right up here behind Newberry, and they just wipe it right out. A quick little trap block in there, and he just takes it right up the pipes. They're so committed by Atlanta to come up there and play against the run that if you hit through there quick, you're going to get big yardage by the time they can recover.
Prior to this series, he's right at 100. Prior to this series, the Rams have had the ball more than 14 minutes, and Atlanta only 5. Everett did a good job of pump faking, incomplete to Ellard. Scott Case was covering, and a very good job by the young quarterback as he had time, and that was the big item. They don't mind throwing the ball on first down, do they?
What domination. 221 to 21. You know, you know, you can just look at this game and say the Rams offensive line has taken this game over. They really have.
But Atlanta kept them from going in for a touchdown the last time, made them settle for a field goal, so it's still within reach for Atlanta.
Yeah, but they have to start doing something on offense, and the more they get behind, the less they can use rigs, and that's when they get in trouble.
Now it's House in motion. He tripped over his own man. Actually, it looked like he tripped over the center, Doug Smith. He was looking downfield, and he didn't see those legs, and it's going to be a third down play.
I'm going to ask you what you think's going to happen, Jack.
That's 100 yards for White, by the way.
Okay, good. That's 100 yards. Another 100-yard game. It's going to lead the league in rushing, it looks like. Now, he was one of the players in the league that came across the line during the strike. Do you think the other players who are upset with him will vote for him for the Pro Bowl?
I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see if he gets into the Pro Bowl, and Montana, who played during the strike, and J.T. Smith of the Cardinals, who played during the strike. Third down here, 7. What a good catch. What a good catch by Ron Brown for 14 yards and a first down.
And it was also a great throw, because when you come inside and throw the ball, in this situation, you want to throw the ball down. Okay, now Brown is between himself and the defender. There's the ball down, and he goes down and gets it. When you throw in the middle of the field, Jack, you want to get the ball down, let your receiver get down. That way the defender can't come over his back and make the play.
The offensive line of the Rams is intact. Pankey, Newberry, Smith, Hara, and Slater. Well, they stopped at that time. No gain by Charles White when Dennis Harrison was there. Number 68, he was the big defender, and he is big. 6'8", 280 pounds for the former Philadelphia player Dennis Harrison.
One of the problems with the Falcons, Jack, is they have too many former players from other teams. I was looking at their roster the other day. 29 free agents. You can't win with 29 free agents when you get 50 or 55 guys. You got to win with high draft choices and good players. You know, if somebody lets a guy go and he's a free agent, chances are, you know, he hasn't been that good a player.
White lost a yard. Newman goes in motion. 2nd and 11. Almost picked off. Good coverage by Bobby Butler. Butler has 4 interceptions and darn near had another.
Butler's mad at himself. I don't blame him. He read this thing perfectly. Watch him step in front of Ron Brown right there, right through his hands. Right through his hands. He set the play up. He set the trap. He was hanging back with Brown. Everett looked at him all the way. That's one thing Everett still does a little bit, Jack. He looked at him all the way. And you get a guy like Butler who's been around there for a while. He can see that and make the play.
On third down, the Rams are 6 out of 9. James Britt is in the defensive backfield for Atlanta. Here's a running play on third down to the 29. And Lansford comes on. Mike Gann was the tackler. Well, they try to cross him up with a call, and it didn't work. Lansford's longest field goal this year is 48 yards, and he's kicking into the wind. He is 14 out of 16. Steve Dills will hold the ball.
And I know one of the misses was blocked.
It's a 46-yard try. I don't think he'll make it. That's just a guess with the wind blowing as it is. just stopped that ball altogether.
Hit the goalpost, Jack. Hit the upright on the left-hand side. Right-hand side of your pitcher.
A flag is down. A flag is down. Offside, Atlanta. That'll still keep it 4th down.
Well, let's try it again.
Now the umpire has something to say.
Number 29, defense. Lining up in the neutral zone, 5 yards. Fourth down.
That was Stamps who came on trying to block the kick. And there's Marion Campbell who will see his team giving the Rams another chance. Now it'll be a 42-yard try.
How do you like this one? The call the last one said it would, Well, I mean, it wasn't even close. It only hit the upright.
I think he'll make this one. Dill's holding, McDonald snapping. Line drive. No good. Off to the left. I was wrong. For the first time in my life, I'm wrong again.
I don't believe it. I think Lance was telling him that the ball sailed on him. He was into the wind. He probably tried to make a wind adjustment and then hit it the right way. Not only the kick, but the way he thought the ball would move in the wind.
In passing, Atlanta is -4 yards. They have Matthews and Dixon, the wide receivers. Motion by Cox. Good play action by Campbell, and the receiver fell down. And there's the interception by Urban.
He's gone.
Yes, sir. Yards for Leroy Urban.
Okay, Leroy. Here's Campbell. He had White Shoes Johnson up, but White Shoes 81 fell down. It goes over his shoulder. Here's Leroy Urban playing back in the zone. Watch the great run he makes. Watch the way he uses his blocker. Watch the cutback. This is going to take him all the way. Great speed. He knows he's got it right here.
And the amazing thing, no flags on the blocking, and there was a lot of it. Here's Lansford. That's good. It's 19-0 with 4:46 remaining in the half. Boy, that happened in a hurry, didn't it? Second interception of the year for Leroy Urban.
Well, the importance of that interception might be that sooner than they perhaps wanted to, Atlanta might have to come with Chris Miller, their #1 draft choice, and there he is on the sideline. Hasn't played yet in the NFL. They activated him yesterday, and Marion Campbell said he could play today.
And Archer has been deactivated. Here is Stamps giving way to the other receiver, Major Everett, and Everett's to the 20-yard line with 4:37 left in the half. And it's going to be Scott Campbell back in there. We asked Marion Campbell, when are we going to see Chris Miller? He said, I can't answer that. I do not know. We said, could it be tomorrow? He said, I do not know. Rams, first down Atlanta. Campbell still the quarterback at his own 20. Riggs. Well, he doesn't quit, does he? He's good for 5. But Atlanta's in a bad spot. They're trailing 19-0, and they have to run the ball. Campbell has not been able to do very much. He's completed only 2. He's had 1 intercepted. There was a final score from earlier, meaning that the Giants and others are still alive. New Orleans tacks on another victory, and Miami, without Dwight Stevenson, defeated Philadelphia. Buffalo now in a tie for first after whipping Indianapolis. New England pounded the Jets 42-20. Cleveland had a big win over Cincinnati. And Washington hung on to beat Dallas. They were way ahead, but they won it 24-20. This is 2nd and 5. Campbell misfires on that one. It'll be 3rd and 5. Tried to swing it out to Riggs. Stops the clock with 3:36 remaining in the half. Mike Wiltshire was on the coverage. Other scores, Kansas City in the second quarter leading the Raiders. Touchdown pass by Bill Kenny. And San Diego bouncing back with a lead over Pittsburgh. How do you like that one, Will?
Well, it's a big game for both teams. You know, both teams there need a win to stay in the playoff picture.
Look what St. Louis is doing to the Giants in what might be their last game in St. Louis. Their last home game of the year. Clifford Hicks is in defensively on 3rd and 5. Oops. And Campbell's on the run and taken down by Kevin Green. That's the first sack of the day for the Rams.
Scott Campbell's having a tough time here in the first half. He's just not reading anything. He looks up. He doesn't see anything. Here he comes again, chasing him down from behind because he just can't read what Los Angeles is doing out there and make the throw to the right people.
Big rush. Donnelly kicking with the wind, hangs it high, and Ellard said, I'll just catch it at the 47. That was a 38-yard kick, so the wind is swirling, and they're not always getting the advantage of it. They've scored on a running touchdown, a safety, a field goal, and an interception, and they lead 19-0. They have the ball at their 47. It's been a woeful attack for Atlanta so far today. Ellard and Brown, the wide receivers. Ellard coming this way, and they're not sitting on it, are they? And incomplete, as Brown coughed it up when he was hit by Scott Case. Didn't look like that hard a hit, but he got him in the right spot.
Well, he does the same thing here Jackie did in one pass play earlier. He drops the ball in his hands because before he gets it and tucks it away, he's looking around. Here comes Everett back. This is the best ball Everett has thrown here in the first half. He's got a lot on it. Brown makes the break to the outside, hits him in a bad place right in the hands. There it goes. See you later. Right to the ground before the play ever gets in. Second time in this half he's missed a big play because he looked off the ball.
Error, shortstop. And delayed away. White is near midfield, 3 yards. Charles White told me coming into the game that he expected to be beat up, beaten, punched, twisted.
Well, he's getting his wish.
Early in the game, he said, then I'll get him later.
Atlanta is really pursuing to the ball, and that's what's opening up the throwing game for Everett.
We've seen Brown and Ellard both run reverses for the Rams.
Well, you might see one here again because, you know, Atlanta's just flying to the ball, in particular when Charlie White handles it, and they're not worrying about anything else.
Third wide receiver is Kevin House. Ellard goes in motion. That's caught by Ellard. See you later. Nothing. There are the two of them, Everett and Ellard. Ellard had a big week last week, caught 7 against Detroit. And he gets his 3rd touchdown of the year. I tell you, these Rams are flying high. They want to sail through the rest of the year undefeated, but they still have to play at San Francisco. For trying, high snap. Dills gets it down. It's good. 26-0.
There's Ellard on the bench after the long touchdown pass, but it was more of a run than anything else. He's out to the right-hand side. Everett's coming back. Here he comes. Coming across. Case, the defender, falls down. After the play was over, here's Ellard's going to break to the outside and take it all away. After the play was over, Scott Case went right up to the referee, Fred Silver, and started arguing with him. Now, it didn't look as though he was picked off there. It looked like he was just picked off. Come back now. Ellard set out right. He's going to come across. He's being covered by number 25, Scott Case. Look to the left-hand side of your pitcher. Here's the ball to Ellard, but look behind him. There's Case on the ground. He fell down. Second time in the first half, Atlanta guy has fallen down. It's cost a touchdown. The other one was on the interception.
Stamps from the goal line. Wants to go 100. Whoa, he only got 16.
Oh.
Who was that?
It was Tyrell again.
That was
it 52?
Larry Kell.
I thought it was 32.
Special teams playing good. You get a fella like Tyrell leading the way, and he turns everybody on those special teams. That was Larry Kelm.
Those two guys hit like Tyson.
The ball to the Atlanta 17. Atlanta, 6 plays and punt, 4 plays and punt, 4 plays and punt, 1 play and intercepted, 4 plays and punt. That's what they've done on their possessions. 18 yards, that's all they have. Screen. And running where the ball is settled. And the rookie gets a pretty good run.
Pass is complete to Settle.
This is what Atlanta has done prior to this possession. Punt, safety, punt, interception, punt. We're coming to the 2-minute mark. 2:04 left in the half. That was a gain of 7 yards on the pass to the rookie out of Appalachian, John Settle.
Atlanta just get right out of the running game, and they're going right into the shotgun in the first half.
With a score 26-0. Clifford Hicks, the extra back. And it is caught for a first down. Stamps came out here and caught the ball. It's nice for Atlanta to have him back in the lineup. He can do a lot of things. That's 1:57 remaining in the half. Atlanta wanted to call a timeout. Goes to the sideline under his own power. Took him a little time to get up. He's limping, as you see. We have 1:57 left in the half. And Ron Brown, we're told, has a concussion. He's their flyer, their wide receiver, and he's not feeling very well. We might see something of Michael Young or more of Kevin House. This is only the second Atlanta first down of the day. Here's Campbell rolling and being sacked for the second time. That's the second sack. Well, the Giants are playing at St. Louis, and Brent Musburger, New York, has some info for us.
Well, Jack, with the Rams doing well, the Vikings losing, starting to back up in that chase. Let's go back to Jack Buck. We'll update that at halftime.
Here the pass caught for a first down. And a very good throw was made to Charlie Brown. Out to the 40-yard line in a hurry-up offense for Atlanta. And a timeout call, stopping the clock with 1:32 remaining in the half. And now each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Atlanta will receive the second half kickoff, by the way. They'd like to get on the scoreboard before the intermission comes about. They have the ball at the 40, first down. At halftime, and he's got a lot of explaining to do today, doesn't he?
I wouldn't want to try to explain the playoff picture, especially in the AFC.
Yeah, and that giant St. Louis story will be interesting. And Minnesota got knocked off today, further complicating things. First down throw by Campbell. That's way out of bounds. Charlie Brown, the intended receiver. 1:27 remaining in the half. Each team 2 timeouts. Charlie Brown has caught only 4 passes this year, including the one here a moment ago.
Yeah, he's been hurt off and on this year, Jack. And, of course, when you get Gerald Riggs and you play the double tight end offense, he doesn't get a chance to get on the field that much.
And speaking of these Atlanta injuries, you hear players and coaches on other teams really sympathizing with them. They've had it tougher than anybody. Here's a screen all the way across the field, well executed.
Oh, what a play by Mike Wiltshire.
And a terrific tackle by Wiltshire. We have a third down play coming up and a hurry-up offense for Atlanta. As time and threw into heavy coverage, trying to get it out there again to Charlie Brown. And now we'll join Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Jack, let's complete this play for you. Neil Lomax and the Cardinals in the storyline with a win over the Giants, and they're breezing right now. Now they'll move to within a game of the Vikes, and they'd be right there with the Rams. Back to Jack.
And the next Cardinal game will be at Tampa Bay. Rick Donnelly is punting. Henry Ellard is deep along with Mickey Sutton. It's the fourth punt of the day by Donnelly. Fair catch called for and taken near the 15-yard line by Sutton, a 40-yard kick. Now let's see what the Rams do with 48 seconds remaining in the half and a 26-0 lead being enjoyed by the home team. Everett coming off of a very good game at Detroit.
Well, he's at 10 for 20, and he's had 3 drops for sizable yardage, so he could have had a real big half. You know, it is big when you go ahead 26-0. I think John Robinson, being the kind of guy he is, Jack, I think he's just going to tell him, sit on the ball, run it out, let's take the 26-0 and get in there.
And Everett, by the way, is a very pleasant young man, and he's in the right place here out in Hollywood. He's going to make a lot of money during his career. Duval Love plays the right guard. Here's Gilman, the fullback, carrying. Atlanta's not anxious to stop the clock either. So we'll have another snap and probably a 26-0 score at halftime. Everett, he's nice to people. He's a happy kid. He's smiling. He's smart. He'll be doing a lot of commercials and getting involved in the community out here.
Well, he's a lot happier the last 4 weeks because he sort of fit into the offense. You know, Gary Jeter, who's their fine defensive end, said he thought that the strike hurt Everett more than any other Ram because he's still a young kid, less than a year in the league. He really didn't know the new offensive system, and all of a sudden, for 1 month, there was no practice.
Well, the 30-second clock does not force them to run another play. Atlanta will receive the second half kickoff. Marion Campbell not too happy. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Rams 26. Atlanta has been shut out.
An outstanding ball game, but early in the game, Tommy Kramer is quarterbacking for the Vikings, and he hit Anthony Carter on a 40-yard touchdown. But late in the game, Kenneth Davis scores from 7 yards out. And I'll tell you, this was a tough run because they had to have this one to stay alive. He just breaks over that left guard, goes in, and the Packers upset Minnesota 16-10.
All right, so that's the situation in the NFC wild card. Now, meanwhile, over in the AFC, Warriors acquired center Ralph.
To Charlie White, 7-0, 21-yard touchdown run as he shows he starts to dominate the first half on the way, maybe, to the Pro Bowl. Here's the bad snap from center and a safety. Michael Stewart, 23, making the tackle. Scott Campbell back to pass. White Shoes Johnson falls down. Here's Leroy Irvin, 47. Great blocking in front of him. Now he cuts to his left, takes it back across the field, all the way, touchdown.
Henry Ellard had a score later.
And benefited the same way. Scott Case falls right down there. 25. Here's Ellard taking the ball to the outside. Gets a block, and with his speed, he's gone, Jack.
Scott Case was complaining after the play, but I didn't see any Ram around him who may have held him or knocked him down or anything of the sort. They've got a lot of speed on this Ram club. We don't know about Ron Brown. He had a concussion, and he may not come back into this game. And Clifford Hicks came off limping. I don't know what to expect in the second half except more of the same.
Well, I hope we'll start the third period. There's Everett. He wants to get out and play the third period. When you had the first half that he had, you're anxious to get the ball and say, hey, this is fun. Let's go out there and do it.
How good do you think Everett is going to be?
Well, I'm more impressed with him recently than I was last year and at the beginning of this year. You know, the rap on Jim Everett when he came out of college was, how tough was he? You know, in college ball, they didn't know how tough he was. Was he the kind of guy that would fold against the run? Some teams thought he was. That was the scouting of some teams. They said, this guy won't like to take a hit. And we talked about that to Johnny Robinson yesterday, and he said the Rams haven't found it that way. He's taken some tough hits. He's been hurt. So Robinson mentioned one time he went out in the field to visit him, and he says, I'm all right. Let me get up. Let me play. He didn't want out of the game.
That was in the Cleveland game on
That's
Monday
right.
night. Yeah.
He didn't want out of the game. He wanted to go back in there. So he's hanging tough. And for the Rams, that's good because this was the only rap against him was how tough would he be?
Ron Brown, number 89, has a mild concussion. Apparently, he's going to see some more action. And the Rams will kick it off to start the second half. Michael Lansford, the barefoot kicker, will touch it off. Or that Henry Ellard has come alive for this Ram club, hasn't he? He caught 7 passes last week, and he's a big part of this game, too.
Jack, the guy who's making this whole Ram offense is Charlie White. He's running the ball so well. They got such a great offensive line that the defense has to bring up their safeties to play against the run to stop White. When the defense brings in the safeties, this gives you man on the outside with the cornerbacks. Okay, this makes it easier for Everett to throw the ball and Eldon Brown to catch the ball.
Sylvester Stamps awaits the kick. And
Whoops.
He touched it and it went out of bounds at the 8. That's the trouble with the wind. And you can't dismiss that, folks. You can't climb on the performer that much. It was a knuckleball kick, and the wind is blowing. It's not easy. Here comes Miller. Here comes the #1 pick out of Oregon, a former pro baseball player, very accomplished basketball player. He was born in Pomona, California, and then moved to the other area when he was about 7 years old. Moved away from here. This will be his first snap in pro football. He starts at his 8. It'll be a running play. And Riggs goes to the 10.
Chris Miller is a quarterback.
He has the size. He's 6'2", 195. What do you know about him, Will?
Well, very pleased with him in the Falcon camp. He has a good arm. He doesn't have a great arm. He's not Elway or Marino or one of those guys, but they say he's a passer. Marion Campbell said yesterday when we talked to him, Jack, that he has great anticipation, a passer's anticipation. In other words, he can throw the ball and he throws it to the right guy.
Well, we'll soon see. 2nd down and 8. His first pass in the pros, and he throws incomplete out in the flat, out at the line of scrimmage. He tried to get it out to Arthur Cox.
Well, he looked like a guy throwing his first pass in the pro. He took one step back and looked at Cox all the way. Everybody in the ballpark knew where he was throwing it because that's the only guy he looked at.
He broke the passing record set by Dan Fouts in college at Oregon, and those of Bob Berry as well.
He's got a little bit of the Fouts look to him with the mustache and the beard there, Jack. It must be cold up there in Oregon.
It is 3rd down, and they're in the shotgun. Settled is in the lineup. He's going to run, and he had knocked down at the 20, and that's a 1st down. He's tough. He bounced right back up, didn't he?
Well, here's what's very unusual about Miller, okay? He's a quarterback who can run 4.6, and that's more like a back speed when you run a 4.6. Now watch him run away from his pursuers. He gets back, takes a look, wants to throw down the middle, gets chased out of the pocket. Watch him accelerate now. Gives a wave. His receiver hooked up and stopped. He had nothing else to do, and he knows where he was. He knew how far he had to get for the 1st down.
Clifford Hicks tackled him at the 20, 1st down. So he might give us a little life to this game from the Atlanta viewpoint.
Good throw.
And a good throw across the 30, and that's a 1st down to Aubrey Matthews. That's an 11-yard pickup. Not a bad start.
The Miller kid, yeah, there he can send it in the signals from Campbell. That's a little bit of a switch, but he did it for David Archer at the beginning of the year, so he knows how to do it. They have to stay very basic now for Miller. He doesn't know that many plays. And like I said during the break, he's out there with the Rams, and the Rams don't usually give you that much. They don't like to blitz you a lot. The blitz is what kills a young quarterback. So he hasn't seen that so far.
Middleton sets up on a wing, comes in motion. He fumbled the snap, he got it back, and it is incomplete. He threw into very heavy coverage. He tried to get it down to Matthews, and Jim Collins got a hand on it. That's Collins, number 50. Well, he'll get a chance to throw with the score being what it is, 26-0 Los Angeles.
And he's also got the wind behind him, so if you're going to get back into the game, you better score some points here in the 3rd period because you're going to have difficulty do it going into the wind in the 4th period.
What kind of money did he sign for?
Well, he held out for most of the year because he didn't like the contract he was getting, you know, and at the end, I think he got $3.2 million for 5 years, which was a good package.
Not bad. 2nd and 10. That was an errant pass with Jerry Gray covering on the corner and Floyd Dixon, the intended receiver. That'll make it 3rd and 10.
Well, if he follows the forms of most rookie quarterbacks in their first game, he'll go back there now. The Rams are going to bring in 5 or 6 defensive backs.
They have Sutton and Clifford Hicks.
Here they come. He won't know what he's seeing out there because he's so young. He'll get chased and he'll run out and he'll get another first down.
Rams are playing without Vince Newsom, their regular strong safety. He's out for the year. Radloff to center. Closes in on him. He steps up and airs it out, and that's going to be incomplete. Jerry Gray was closest to it. He was hoping that Matthews would be able to split those defenders. And it's punting time for Atlanta again, the 5th punt coming up.
Well, if you listen to me, he had a first down. He stepped up and nobody was there. He had clear sailing in front of him. But there was just so much energy in that ball. He just let it fly. You know, he's so pumped up right now, Jack. It's going to take him a couple of series to calm down and throw the ball the right way.
Henry Ellard will await this kick from Donnelly. Good snap by Barnett. Not too good a punt. A good bounce, however, and the Rams have it at their 35-yard line. That was a 36-yard kick, and so the Rams get the ball for the first time here in the second half. They lead 26-0. This is a score from an earlier game, and it really has put things in focus. Green Bay beat Minnesota 16-10.
2 weeks ago, you look at the NFC and you say all the playoff pictures wrapped up. Minnesota will come in, but now they've lost 2 in a row, a stunning loss at Green Bay, and this brings this Rams team and St. Louis back into the picture with 2 weeks left to play in the regular season.
Here's Charles White. And a good tackle was made at the 40-yard line by Tim Gordon, the rookie safety man out of Tulsa, 7-yard pickup. And we shall check the approach of the Rams with the big lead that they have.
Now you look at what's going to happen in Minnesota. They got themselves in a problem right now because they got to go into Detroit in the game we're going to do next Sunday. And then after that, they finish with Washington.
Right.
And Washington wants that win. They want to try to get the best record to have those 2 home games in the playoffs.
That'll be a Saturday game on CBS. Here is White bopping in there.
Now there's the playoff picture. Now take a look at it. New Orleans is in. You know, they're already in for the wild card. They still got a shot at catching San Francisco.
And
they got that eye on that San Francisco-Chicago game Monday night. Okay. Now here's the rest of it. You know, St. Louis looks like they're going to win and beat the Giants today. The Rams are going to win here, and they're going to be right up in Minnesota. They're both going to be 6-7 with 2 games to go. Okay.
2 tight ends. Greg Beatty is in there. He's a former New England player, the tight end spot for the Rams. Here is a toss and a first down run by Charles White. He's over 100 yards today. He has 118 rushing yards. How are the Cardinals doing, Will?
Cardinals are doing very well. Possibly their last home game in St. Louis, Jack. Oh, we got a little scrap going on in the field down here. Bringing in the junior varsity, they're getting excited. You're seeing some of the backup players getting in the game.
While we have some pictures there, Dennis Hara, number 60 of the Rams, a big part of their offensive line, is talking about this being his last year. It's his 13th year. They have a good man behind him in Duval Love. It may or may not be the final season for Dennis.
Well, you get 2 great Rams players that could be out of there. There's Love, and they think he's going to be a heck of a player for the future. But you get Dennis Hara, who's had a great career here, a Pro Bowl lineman during his career, and you got their super safety Nolan Cromwell, who for a period of time was considered the best safety man in the league. Now it looks like both of them are going to pack it in when the year's all over. There's Cromwell.
And they're without Johnny Johnson. He's out for the rest of the year. Here's good faking by Everett, and his pass is caught by Henry Ellard. That's a first, well, it is a first down. 11 yards. Good faking by Everett, and that's very important.
Yeah. Well, you can do that with Charlie White. You stick it in there, and he makes the whole defense stop. Watch this. There it is. The linebackers freeze. Don't get the good jump. See 59 turned around, and there's a great throw. He's got a lot on the ball. He gets it out there for Ellard. It was just a fine play. We've got a Ram injured on the field.
And we have a timeout with 9:35 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Ellard came to life last week. He caught 7, giving him 38 for the year, and he has a touchdown pass today. That's Dennis Hara,
yeah,
about whom we were just talking. I guess we put the whammy on.
I hope not. They're looking at his knee, though, but I think this is one of the reasons they're talking about. I guess he's had some back problems, hasn't he, Jack? They said they had some physical problems.
Right.
Now it looks like it's a knee, which you hate to see happen. The guy have the career like this and maybe 2 or 3 games away from the end.
Frequently, the Rams use people like Duval Love and Tony Slayton in there, and you think it's out of necessity, but they don't mind playing those people at all. They are still quite good. Well, next Saturday, CBS Sports has a full lineup of action. Dennis Harry, he's hurting. He's the big man, folks. 6'5", 265, replaced by Duval Love. First down at the Atlanta 42-yard line. White waited for the block. Needs one more. And he's caught on the angle. Near the 20-yard line by Tim Gordon. He got over there in a big hurry.
It's a flag on the field, though, Jack.
There's a late flag and a holding call against the Rams. Well, they haven't done much wrong today, have they?
Charlie White's been flirting with that kind of a run the last 5 or 6 carries.
Offense, number 81, holding, 10 yards, still first down.
David Hill, the tight end, who was called for holding.
And one of the better blocking tight ends in pro football. Here he is. Watch the surge to the right. There he is, 81, standing up his man. Here's Charlie White. Here comes Newbury, 66 into the, look at that gap, but the flag's going to come back here. See, Dennis Hill falling down. David Hill, rather. Here's White up in the gap. Watch Gordon, 41. There's the flag. Gordon, 41, came all the way across the field to make the play.
All the way back to the 48. Here's White. And that's a first down run for Charles White. Well, you don't see many teams overcome a holding call like that, a 21-yard run.
Charlie White. Watch this line block. Watch this surge. Now, he gets a look back here, and he can just pick a gap. He reads the gap inside. What a hole.
A good peel back block by Irv Pankey on that one.
Well, their offensive lineman told us in the last 2 days, with him, all you have to do is give him a little gap, and you know he's going to hit that gap. Look at the day. 24 for 138 yards.
And Riggs, with his club behind, hasn't been able to get many yards. Ellard in motion. Rams still mixing it up and going for Ellard. Look out. Oh, I knew he was going to get one.
Unnecessary.
And an unnecessary hit against Scott Case. Case said, what did I do? I never touched it.
No, I just hammered him.
If I had a hammer, I'd ring it in your helmet.
Personal foul, defense, number 25. Late hit, first down.
And it's a first down on the penalty.
Here's the throw. Everett hangs it out there. He tries to split the zone. Watch 25, Case peel back. The ball's gone behind him. He can't catch it, but he keeps on coming.
Ooh.
The official said, that's unnecessary roughness. You didn't have to do that. Frustration. Watch the hit again. Case sees it all the way, gives him a blast. He already had his left foot out of bounds. You just can't do that. But that's the frustration. Case has had a tough day in there trying to cover these guys, Ellard and Brown, who have all this great speed.
That's why I said, ooh, when that play was coming to an end, because I knew he was going to get it. The ball is at the 17. And White to the 50. On that front line of the Rams at number 66, Tom Newberry. What a physical specimen that guy is. 6'2", 280 pounds, out of Wisconsin La Crosse. Look at the neck on that guy.
Well, he looks like a typical 1987 offensive lineman. Can you imagine what these guys are going to be like when you get into the 1990s? You know, 10 years ago, they'd be 240 pounds, would be a big offensive lineman. Now Lions have got him 300 pounds.
Gooman joins White in the backfield.
Blitz.
They beat it. They beat the blitz with a pass to Gooman. Very close to a first down. It'll be first and goal. Gordon and Williams made the tackle.
Take a look. John Robinson said right from the start, one thing he liked about Everett is he knew how to beat the blitz. He had that coming out of college. Now watch Newbury, 66. Watch the setup. Good arm extension. See, you got to get those arms out there, Jack. And when you do, the guy can't get away from you. He can't get rid of you.
First and goal at the 6. Dennis Harrison is out. Michael Reed is in the lineup, the linebacker. White looking for yards. The ball came loose. White doesn't fumble very often, but he did this time. And who does it belong to? Michael Reed came very close to the ball. He might have it. No, it still belongs to Los Angeles. Michael Reed thought as he made the hit, he caused the fumble, that the Falcons were going to get the ball.
Let's take a look at it from ground level again. Behind the safety man, little toss to Charlie White. Student body left. They're pulling everybody. He's looking for a gap. Now he's going to try to take it back up inside. He can't get outside. There's David Hill's block. He gets hit head on. The official, I guess, ruled, and it did look as though his left knee was down before the ball came out.
Reed made the tackle at the 4. Touchdown. Newberry, Smith, and Love in the middle of the line, all good blocking.
You know how many times he must have run this play in his career between the Rams and USC for John Wright. This Gooman takes the guy on the outside. This creates the gap. White has a good head of steam because he took the pitch so deep. And in the second half, Jack, the Rams offensive line, their surge, they're just knocking Atlanta back.
And they figure to do that later in the game because they keep pounding
They're
on
big and they knock you over. And, you know, Atlanta's the last in the league against the rush. Now it looks as though we're getting something on the replay up here. I don't know why. Why would that be involved in this play? But they're stopping down on the field.
I sure don't know. He walked into the end zone. And they are checking it out for some reason. Grover Clemmer is the replay official.
Well, nothing happened. They say it's going to stand. Let's play.
Lansford tries to make it 33-0. And it's 33-0. The official had been looking at the previous play as to whether or not it was a fumble or whether he was down. But the Rams have another TD. Busy fellow, and he'll kick it off. Here's Charles White along the sideline. A couple of rushing touchdowns today.
What a great story he is. You know, here's a kid that has had problems with drugs in his career, and he had problems again in training camp this year. They found him wandering one night at really early in the morning at 7 a.m.
Here's the kick towards Stamps, and he took it on the 7. He's out to the 41-yard line. He's leading the league in kickoff returns. Nolan Cromwell made the tackle.
Yeah, Charlie White, they find him 7 in the morning. He's had difficulty with drugs. He's walking around with the cover of an ash can in his hand. Jack didn't even know his own name. So the Rams took him back and said, Charlie, if you want to play for us, you have to let us drug test you every day. He has been drug tested every day since then, even comes in on his 1 day a week to get drug tested. And that's the only condition they let him play under. Now it looks like he could head to the Pro Bowl.
Chris Miller is the quarterback, his second series. And motion by Don Sharp. And getting outside was Kenny Flowers. And he got a few yards. The Raiders are trailing in the third quarter. They had been perking along offensively with Bo Jackson and others.
It looks like the Chiefs have given him a tough homecoming. You know?
Yeah.
I guess they're going to have 70,000 people waiting for Bo to boo him today. And the difference there, new part of the Bo Jackson story is that John Wathan, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, I guess said during the baseball meetings this week that Bo Jackson's going to go to Omaha next year. He's not going to be with the Royals.
Motion by Dan Sharp again, and he sets up as a tight end on the left side. Second down and 3. Miller swings it out here, and he hooks up with Kenny Flowers for a first down throw. And Mel Owens was there covering. That was a 5-yard pickup.
You're a baseball guy, Jack. You think Bo Jackson will go back to the minor leagues, or you think he'll say, hey, I'm not going to go to the minor leagues.
Well, when he has
I'm
that much,
play football.
You know, minor league baseball is not much fun. It's a tough life. And he had a lot of trouble hitting the fastball, Will, and I'm not so sure, nor are other people, that he's going to make the grade as a hitter in the major leagues. It's the first time Atlanta has been in Los Angeles territory today. They had their best start at their own 41. Now running with the ball is Flowers. He's a rookie out of Clemson, so they're looking at Miller and Flowers, and the tackler was Reggie Doss. There's a 4-yard pickup.
What they're looking at is his future. That's why Marion Campbell got him out there. Campbell, even though the record is not good this year, seems to have been assured by the owner, Rankin Smith, along with the rest of the staff, that he will be back next year. You know, the personnel there isn't great, and when you get all those injuries on top of it, it's a tough way to coach a team.
Gary Jeter is in, helping with the pass rush, and the pass is incomplete. Jeter, number 77, is quite a story. This is his 11th year in the game after coming out of Southern Cal, a long time with the Giants. He's a good pass rusher yet.
That's been his forte. He doesn't play regular on first and second down because he's not good against the run, but he is an outstanding pass rusher. What the Falcons are doing right now, when you have Flowers in there as a top pick, you know, and you have your quarterback in there, the new kid, Chris Miller, you want to take a look at him. Say, what are we going to do next year? Here are 2 kids that are probably going to have to do a lot for us.
Third down at 6. Miller swings it out and throws it over John Settle. And it's 4th down. So Donnelly comes back in, and Atlanta's still shut out. This will be the 6th punt for the Falcons today. So they started at their own 41, but got 1 first down. That's all they could get. Clifford Hicks, number 28, is back, along with Mickey Sutton.
That's pretty good. Hicks was the guy that was laid out in the first half, wasn't he? When Robinson went out in the field, that was him. Now he's come back, and that shows you how much the Rams want to play.
Even with this lead, they bring him back in.
With this lead, with their record, like Robinson said, more than any time since he's been here, they're happy and want to play.
Donnelly hangs another good kick, and it's pretty well covered, and it took a bad bounce as far as the deep man was concerned. A 43-yard punt, but into the end zone it goes. Will come out to the 20-yard line. Dennis Harrow will not play anymore today. Harrow has a calf injury. He will not come back today. So Duval Love will play that spot. 5:08 left in the 3rd quarter. The ball at the 20. Tim Tyrell is in the backfield. Number 32. He carries and gets only a yard. We have scores of other games for you.
Testaverde, his first home start, Jack. Got about 20,000 more people than expected just to see him start at home.
Here is Everett running with the ball and getting out of bounds. We have more scores for you. That's a first down run, I think.
These last games to have the best record and get the 2 home games in the playoffs. That's very important.
And we have more scores for you. That was a first down run by Everett. Here's a give to White. That's another first down run. Charles White really piling up some yards. That was a 12-yard gain, and New Orleans wins their 10th game of the year.
And they're staying right on San Francisco. If San Francisco loses the Super Bowl, the NFC team that had the 2 home games in the playoffs went to the Super Bowl and won.
A whistle stopped play. White has rushed 28 times, 159 yards.
Offense, number 67. False start.
False
5
start
yards,
by
still
Duval
first down.
Love, and it'll make it 1st and 15. When he moves, you can see him, man.
Steve Grogan coming back into the starting lineup today.
What does that do for New England?
This game to stay around, Jack. You know, Paul Brown said in Cincinnati this week, we'll make a decision on the coach's future when the year's over.
Toss to the tailback White, and a very good tackle was made. Rushing in was the safety man, Robert Moore. He had lined up right at the line of scrimmage, and a loss of a yard. Dallas lost today in their game at Washington.
They played tougher than people thought.
2nd down, 15.
I want you guys to catch this next.
Caught by Ellert. Only a 5-yard gain. It'll make it 3rd and long. Scott Case was covering and made the tackle. Ellert is tough to keep up with. The next game for the Rams will be a Monday night game against Dallas. And by the way, Will McDonough, tomorrow night, Hank Stram and I will do that Bears San Francisco game on radio on CBS.
That's going to be a great game. Personally, I think the team that wins that game is going to be the team that wins the Super Bowl.
Why?
I really do, because they'll get the home games. Most likely, they'll end up with the home games, and that's been such a great barometer in the last 6 or 7 years. The NFC with the home games wins the Super Bowl, except for 1984.
John Francis is in the lineup. Here's Everett throwing outside and incomplete to the sliding Henry Elder. Could have caught that one. Everett's figures are pretty good and could be better. There have been a few drops. Now the Rams will punt for the second time today. And Dale Hatcher is in to do the kicking. He's number 1 in the NFC with regard to getting it out of bounds. And he has an average of 40 yards plus. And 2 good kickers on display today. Billy Johnson back to get it.
He won't even have to take a shower.
Fair catch. And a good bounce for the Rams. It's rolled dead at the 6-yard line. A 53-yard punt by Dale Hatcher. Now we have 1:46 remaining in the third quarter, and there's our score, 33-0. This game was over early, wasn't it?
It was. You know, Atlanta is the type of team, you know, the worst offense in the league. Let's face it, the fewest points. Once you get behind, they're gone, Jack.
They couldn't use Gerald Riggs. Dill's on the phone. He was warming up a while ago. He's a 9-year veteran. Looks like he'll take over in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter here. And Chris Miller is the quarterback. Kenny Flowers lines up in the backfield with him. And a good throw. Boy, he really got up on top. I mean, he threw a fastball.
And he had a defensive lineman right in his face.
Aubrey Matthews made the catch for an 18-yard gain. He really
watch him go back. He shows you he's got an arm here. Now watch. One of the defensive linemen will come through, number 93. Doug Reed gets right in his face, but he hammers it out there to Matthews.
Well, that's the way Cromwell has to play, by the way, number 21. He's got to play very loosely these days.
That's what we talked about earlier. He's probably going to retire. He hasn't got the speed he used to have, and they have to start bringing along someone that can get back there and run.
Here's a first down throw by Miller.
Watch the speed.
He's hard to catch, man, and he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A 3-yard gain for Miller. He's got a lot of bounce to him, doesn't he?
Well, you know, like I said before, he runs a 4.6, and that might make him, outside of Randall Cunningham, the fastest quarterback in the league, because, you know, Cunningham can run out there. He's got a longer stride. But, you know, I think in the years ahead, you're going to see more quarterbacks like this, guys that can run and get out of trouble. Buddy Ryan says the reason he likes Randall Cunningham in Philadelphia is he makes 3 or 4 big plays for you a game with his running ability. And this kid has the ability to do the same thing with that type of speed.
Kenny Flowers is in the lineup. Stays in there, 210-pound running back out of Clemson. Dan Sharp is the tight end. Very good pass blocking, and Miller slides out and throws, and it's caught. Right at midfield, and that is a first down with Flowers showing his pass-catching ability. 24-yard gain that time.
Well, here's why I like Miller. Watch the athletic ability. He gets back. His offensive line gets shoved in his face. Watch the footwork. Slides out here. Watch him wave. He says, now get away from there. Here, Jim Collins is trying to make the coverage on Flowers. Falls down, but it was still a good throw. Had the presence of mind to say, keep on running. Get it up the field. Get in the gap, and I'll throw you the ball. And he did.
Boy, he had that real quick flip to get rid of the ball, too. At midfield, a first down for Atlanta. Trying to get off the goose egg. 50 seconds left in the third quarter. And the run by Flowers is good for 5. And this is a pretty good drive by the Falcons. Inside linebackers, Eckern and Collins made the tackle. This must be a frustrating day for Gerald Riggs. Fell along the sideline with all of that running ability, even out of the lineup because they're playing a rookie, unable to pile up any yards.
Well, and he likes to play. You know, Joe Riggs is the kind of guy, you say way he likes to play physical football, hit people, run over him. He likes to play, and it hurts just to stand there having watched the second half and your team throw the ball on every down.
John Settle is in the pass pattern, and he caught the ball, broke a tackle, and got a first down. Settle's a rookie out of Appalachian. He was tackled by the rookie Michael Stewart. That's the end of the third quarter. The end of the third quarter with the score. The Rams 33, Atlanta nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station. And we start the final 15 minutes of this game, and Chris Miller, the rookie quarterback, is trying to direct the Falcons to their first points of the day. They have a first down at the Ram 34. Floyd Dixon and Aubrey Matthews are the wide receivers. Miller fakes to Flowers. He knew he was going to get walloped, and he did. And we have a flag down. A big rush was on by Kevin Green, and they really socked the quarterback after he got rid of the ball.
Defense, number 91, lining up in the neutral zone. 5 yards.
He not only lined up offside, but he unloaded on Miller, and he said, welcome to the NFL.
Watch Green now, right side of his screen, number 91. He's going to come. Miller takes the snap. Play fakes, rolls, doesn't see him coming now. Doesn't see him. He's looking downfield. Watch the shot. Boom. I would have given him a penalty.
Would you really?
Oh, sure, because the ball was away. That's supposed to be the new rule this year, and they never call it. And you won't put a rule in if you don't call it.
Pops it over the middle to Flowers, who breaks a tackle. Back to Flowers, Settle. And Settle is down near the 12-yard line on a first down. Settle weighs 207, but he broke that tackle very easily, a 17-yard gain.
You know, when they put that rule in to help protect the quarterbacks, the idea is supposed to be if you can avoid hitting the passer and he's thrown the ball, avoid him. Well, he had thrown the ball and he didn't avoid him. He just ran right over him.
Well,
make your own judgment. I mean, the ball is the ball away. Here he comes.
Let's see if he had a chance
Here he
to
comes.
hold up.
He can hold up. Look at the ball's away. Look at the shot. 1, 2, bang.
Yeah, you're
2
right.
steps instead of 1.
You're right.
And he does nothing about it. I mean, what's Fred Silva doing out there?
I'll throw in with you. We're either both right or both wrong. And it is a first down at the 12, and now Flowers is back in there. That pass is caught for a 1-yard gain by Dan Sharp, only the second pass he's caught this year. So quite a few younger players are in the lineup.
This is good for Miller. He's shown a lot on this drive. He took a lick, got up, made the play. You know, he's running around back there. He's taking the team, you know, almost the length of the field with some of his second-line players in there, and he's making a drive out of it.
St. Louis is still beating the Giants. Some people think it might be the last game ever played in St. Louis.
Well, I don't know about that, Jack, but we'll talk about it after this play.
Ball is at the 11. Screen pass, and Flowers is tackled at the 12. Fine defensive play by Gary Jeter. What about that St. Louis situation?
Well, the St. Louis situation, maybe they are inspired against the Giants playing their last home game. The players think this. Bill Bidwell, the owner, and you told me this, and I agree, has never said, there's a score 27-17, that we are going to leave. He's indicated that he's going to leave. Could go to any one of 5 cities, but there's a problem. The NFL has told him, Bill, if you want to leave, you're going to have to pay some money. And it involves the Los Angeles suit where they say one thing in court, and they're going to have to abide by that, and St. Louis is going to have to go along with the program.
Well, I don't know if they have the money, if Bill Bidwell has the money to pay to go to Baltimore or wherever. Boy, he can run. And he can throw, and the pass is caught out of bounds by Floyd Dixon, who came back and tried to help out. That was a third down throw. Are they going to bring Luckhurst on to try to spoil the shutout? Nope. It's going to be 4th down. So they asked Miller to get the necessary yardage. 4th and 9. On 4th down, Atlanta has converted 5 out of 12 times this year. Marion Campbell letting Miller air it out. Dixon and Matthews, the wide receivers. Settle and Stamps are in there. They show the blitz. It is a blitz. Can't catch it. He throws. 4th down. Incomplete. The ball goes over to the Rams. Trying to get it to Matthews. And the Falcons are still shut out. And Miller, in his debut, is 8 out of 16 for 88 yards. See how the Rams have dominated the games. Look at the first downs, 22-10, and Charles White, who is on the bench now with big yards, and our score of 33-0 has resulted with 12:19 remaining in the game. And we have a new quarterback for the Rams. They could have scored even more points than they already have, Will, and they're going to play Steve Dills.
And they could have been a lot tougher on defense in this third period. I mean, they shut him out, but they didn't really take advantage of Chris Miller. They didn't really try to harass him. And until the last play there, they didn't really try to blitz him, but they didn't want him to score a touchdown either.
So without Dennis Hara on the front line and with Robert Cox in there playing the right tackle position, and with Young in motion, Michael Young, here's the running play to John Francis, and he is upended. Everett is out of the game by choice. 13 out of 24, 193 yards, and 1 touchdown pass and a couple of good runs today. So a satisfactory afternoon for Jim Everett. Francis got a yard.
There's Miller saying, what did those guys do? Did they blitz me the last time? How do I check off?
And John Francis was in the lineup, number 35, was a replacement player, and then came back to play. And Dills connects on his first pass, gets it out to Greg Beatty, his first reception of the year, number 84.
There's Miller saying, hey, I was looking for the pat. Now, here's the problem he has. The worst thing you can do to a rookie quarterback is blitz him, show him a blitz. He doesn't know how to check off. Here's the lineman coming through free. Nobody blocked him because he couldn't check off to call the right audible system to get his backs up there to block the guy. As a result, he's got to hurry the pass. He's got to throw it away, and they have to turn the ball over to the Rams.
And couldn't take advantage of the defender falling down. That was a first down throw by Steve Dills. And the play goes down as Francis is tackled. Stopping the clock with 11 minutes left in the game. What do you got, Fred? Holding against the Rams.
Offense, number 61. Holding.
Call against
yards,
Tony Slayton.
First down.
Slayton is playing the left guard position. Next week here on CBS. We'll start with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern next Sunday as usual. John Francis running with the ball, and he's not the same kind of runner that Charles White is.
Well, he's a sideways runner. East and west, they say in the game. The great thing about runners like Charles White or a Dickerson or a Marcus Allen, I-formation runners, they have the ability to run straight up the field. They don't waste any time going sideways. They attack the defense, and those are the guys that can consistently get 4 and 5 yards. There's a change in the score. 10-10 Kansas City and the Raiders.
San Diego was ahead. Now they trail. Detroit beating Tampa Bay in the 4th quarter. Motion by Michael Young. Pass by Dills on 2nd down, and it is caught by Beatty, the tight end. You know him from the New England team.
He was in New England, started for the Patriots most of last year, at the beginning of this year, and then he got in a fight over his contract. And he walked into Raymond Berry one day about 3 weeks ago and said, listen, I want you to stop me or I want to get out of here.
That's what my father used to call me, listen.
So Berry said, well, you're out of here. So they put him out in waivers, and the Rams picked him up. Now they want to take a look at him as a possible tight end for the future. He's an excellent pass receiver, but he's not a good pass blocker. A good run blocker, rather. And on this team, the way they like to run the ball, they have to have a tight end who can block.
From the 22, 3rd down and 10. And brought down is Tyrell, short of a first down. Tyrell was in 36 games with the Atlanta Falcons. Dills comes off of the field. Look at the total offense. That's the reason the score is 33-0. Here is the punt by Hatcher. Billy Johnson waits for it. Hatcher really thumped that one. Fair catch. And Johnson takes it at the 24-yard line. You could hear the official yelling, fair catch, fair catch. He wanted the defender to stay away. That was a 44-yard punt. Atlanta is still shut out. Richard Brown playing a linebacker. Mickey Sutton in the backfield along with Clifford Hicks. Up front, Alvin Wright is playing. Kevin Green is in the lineup. And back to throw is Chris Miller. And that was dropped. Well, that's the last thing that a rookie quarterback needs is a drop. Kenny Flowers couldn't hang on to that one. Stamps is to the left side. It's 2nd and 10. Look at there. All right. And it's hauled in by Matthews on a long bomb by Chris Miller.
Well, this is the one he's going to think about tonight, not Matthews. Miller's going to think about this one. What a throw.
57 yards.
Into the wind. Watch him step up. See, he hasn't got nervous feet. Boom, he throws it right down the middle. He's got Matthews splitting the gap. There's Cromwell, can't run anymore, number 21. And if Matthews doesn't stumble, he's gone.
I'm going to tell Cromwell you told him.
Well,
He said that he can't run anymore.
I'll get him in a foot race.
You would?
Yeah. You tell him and you see if he can catch me.
Miller 9 out of 18 and a couple of drops in there.
That's right.
7:40 left in the game. Kenny Flowers in the backfield with Miller. He'll feel better as he goes along here. And it is intercepted. Clifford Hicks comes away with the ball. Clifford Hicks gets his first of the year, and just as Miller was starting to perk, the interception comes about.
Well, this is the story with a rookie quarterback. One play, throws a 57-yard bomb, looks fantastic. Watch him look at the receiver all the way. He's looking. This gives the defender time to recover. Now he knows where the ball's coming. He's going to make the play. Hicks steps up right in front of Matthews and takes the ball. Almost drops it. Right, dribbles it off his knees. Good pair of hands finally and tucks it away.
And he stepped out of bounds back at the 10-yard line. Ball at the Los Angeles 10 with Steve Dills, the quarterback. Tyrell and Francis in the backfield. And Francis gets a couple of yards and the clock runs. It's going to be a long week for the Falcons out here on the coast preparing to play San Francisco.
That's what Freddie Bruni, their defensive coordinator, told me before the game. If we lose, it's going to be a long week out. Here comes the Giants, and if St. Louis loses, it'll be a long week for them after the lead they had.
Yeah, they were ahead at the half, 27-10.
Wow, look at this, 14 in a row.
2nd down, 6. Still, Dill's gonna throw the ball. And a diving catch by Tim Tyrell. Tyrell, the former Atlanta player. That's a first down, 16 yards.
Here's Dills. He wants to get a little action himself. You know, you get off the bench, you get a chance to play. Looks for Tyrell in the seams. It's a nice catch here because the ball is thrown down. He is in traffic. Watch the players around him, one in front of him, one on each side. Gets the ball and puts it away.
Dills has good figures, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It completed 51% of his passes before today. Michael Young in motion. Tailback Francis goes out of bounds. That stops it with 5:58 remaining in this game. What's the latest on the Giants? We'll learn. There is, as Brent Musburger says, a lot of time remaining in that game with New York at St. Louis. Tyrell and Francis in the backfield, 2nd and 5. Another first down run, this one by Tim Tyrell. Tyrell is the one we tuned in on when he made a downfield tackle on a kickoff.
Well, you watch. I'll show you the results of that tackle. Watch when he turns around. Keep the camera on him. See the red paint on his helmet? That's from the Atlanta helmet. That's how hard he hit the guy. Head on, takes the paint right off the Atlanta helmet.
It sounded like a train going into a tunnel when he made contact with that guy. We have 5:27 left in the game. This fella is Chicago tough, Tim Tyrell. And another first down run. This one by John Francis. I was talking to Tyrell earlier. He told me when he was a kid in Chicago, he used to play spin the cop. And he can block.
Well, watch this lead block, Jack. Look, it takes the step up. Watch the form. Right out front. Boom. He always sticks his head in. Bowls the guy over backwards.
This must be his last year or something, huh?
Joel Williams said, where did you come from?
The ball at the 44 of Atlanta. 4:44 left in the game. Bet the 4-horse. It'll come in fourth. And the tailback, Francis. Boy, even with the substitutes on the front line, with Love and Slayton and Cox playing up there, they're moving Atlanta out.
The most impressive thing about the Rams here today, I think, Jack, is the level of intensity they've played with in this game. They haven't let down. They've been knocking people all over the field. You can hear the contact, and we're way up here. This is a high booth in this stadium. You can just hear them banging each other. You can just hear it. You can rock through the stadium.
Second down. John Francis turns it up and goes down to the 35. It'll be third down and 1. 3:45 left in the game. The score 33-0 Los Angeles. Next game for the Rams will be a week from tomorrow here at home. A Monday night game against Dallas. And then they close out at San Francisco. We're at Anaheim Stadium, and we have a paid attendance here of 43,000 plus. The score 33-0 Los Angeles. Will McDonough and Jack Buck with you. Hope you're enjoying the game despite the lopsided score.
Looks like a replacement game, Jack, but there were people here when it started. Between the score and the cold weather, being cold for out here, people just took off once the Rams had it in control.
43,310. And a good defensive stop by Atlanta. You could hear some cracking there as Jesse Tuggle went flying in there. He's a rookie out of Valdosta State. Tuggle playing the weak side linebacker, 5'11", 225.
This is a key play for me in the pool, Jack. I took 42 total points.
This is a fourth down try by the Rams. They haven't been very good on fourth down, only making a first down 3 times in 12 tries. We're down to 2:20 left in the game. 4th and 2. Let's tune in again. Here's a bootleg, and he'll be able to get a first down on the throw to the tight end, Beatty. Well, Steve Dills, a veteran quarterback, pulled one out of the hat. 2:06 left. That was a 20-yard gain. He could have run for it, but he threw.
Yeah, very well executed play. Misdirection to the left. Had the Falcons going left, he buys himself plenty of time. Beatty is a good receiver, knows how to find the hole, catches it along the sidelines, gets the first down for him.
How about Dills? He's 5 for 5 coming in after Everett. 63 yards. It's a good drive after the interception by Clifford Hicks. This will take us to the 2-minute warning as Tyrell runs with it inside the 15. 2 minutes left in this game. Here's our score, 33-0, and the Rams are on the move, and they're still alive in the playoff picture.
Women were going to end up overboard.
And how in the heck are they going to play San Francisco next Sunday?
Well, I'll tell you, no matter what happens here today, they have played tough. They have not stopped hitting people, the Falcons. They've been outplayed, they've been outmatched. You know, it hasn't been a contest right from the start, but they did not quit.
I was talking to Tony Casillas before the game, and he expects to play in the game next Sunday at San Francisco, and so does Stacey Bailey, who was deactivated for this one with a shoulder injury. Casillas has a leg injury. 3rd down. And that's It's Tyrell to about the 9. That'll take us under a minute. 33-0 Rams. There's been no scoring here in the fourth quarter, and I'm certain the Rams could have scored as many as they wished here today.
That's what Robbins is saying right there. Hey, just let's run one more play, run back off. That's what he's telling the coordinator. Run one more play. Let's get it under 30 seconds. Let's make this the last play of the game and get out of here.
The ball is at the 9. Motion by Michael Young. This is a 4th down play. And the ball goes over to Atlanta. The clock will stop with a change of possession. 26 seconds remaining. And Chris Miller, the rookie who made his professional debut, comes back onto the field. How'd you like him today, Will McDonough?
I was very impressed with him. You know, he's got poise. Yeah, normally you see a kid come into the game like this and his feet go all over the place.
Do you think he'll start next Sunday?
No.
We have 26 seconds remaining in this game. The ball belongs to Atlanta at their own 9.
Dictionary.